Months of anticipation. One very large box. This is the Snapmaker U1. Let's open it up. The first thing you're greeted with when opening the box is the quick start guide and safety guidelines. I always appreciate when manufacturers put this front and center because it gives you a clear starting point before you even begin unpacking the machine itself. Looking further into the packaging, everything is packaged incredibly neatly and securely. There is virtually no room for movement inside the box, which is exactly what you want when shipping a machine of this size. So far, first impressions are excellent. Just look at how well they have packaged this. Now it's time to take a look at the printer itself. This thing is definitely not light, but despite the weight, I was able to get it out the box without too much trouble. Once you have it in your hands, you immediately get a sense of just how solid and well built it feels. And honestly, seeing it out of the package for the first time is where the excitement really starts to kick in. This is one of those satisfying parts of any unboxing, peeling away all the transport, protection, and finally seeing the machine as it's meant to be. And I have to say, sitting on a desk, it looks every bit as impressive as it did in the promotional material. I'll remove the accessory box. And the foam supports from underneath the machine. Now let's take a look at the accessories. And first things first, this is easily one of the nicest accessory boxes I've ever seen included with a commercial 3D printer, so credit where credit due. 4 PTFE tube guards, M2.6 by 10mm screws, a spare hot end with a 0.4mm nozzle, lithium grease, side cutters, clips, a very nice nozzle brush, thermal grease, M2.5 by 16mm screws, a scraper with a rubberized handle, very nice, a wipe cloth, spare nozzle cleaning parts, more spare parts, and 2 different size PTFE tubes. Underneath that we have 2 filament feeders. These contain the motors responsible for feeding filament through the PTFE tubes and into the hot end automatically, no more struggling. A waste collector, 4 USB Type-C connectors, four filament holders, four complete tool heads with hotends pre-installed. This looks awesome. Everything is neatly organized and presented incredibly well. With the accessories out the way, there are still a few pieces of transport protection that need to be removed from inside the printer. We'll remove the transport blocks holding the print bed in place. After that, the temporary front and rear shipping brackets can be removed. Snapmaker has highlighted each screw location with red circles, making the process extremely straightforward. The print bed is finally free to move as intended. Next up are the filament feeders. These automatically drive filament through the PTFE tubes and into the toolheads. With the feeders installed, we can connect the 4 PTFE tubes. Just make sure each tube is connected to the correct numbered position. Next, we'll install the filament holders. The locking tabs need to be positioned horizontally before installation. Once aligned, they snap into place securely. After that, we can install the waste collector. This is Toolhead 1. It's the only toolhead with a label, as it installs moving to the left. Before installation, Snapmaker recommends checking that the locking tabs on all the toolheads are fully in the red position. Now let's install all the toolheads. The remaining 3 toolheads are installed to the right. Next, we're going to loosen these 2 screws, 2 turns counterclockwise. Once done, we will move the shroud around the printer 2 times. Then, we will tighten these screws again. This ensures the belt tension is correct. Next, we'll install the PTFE guards and connect each toolhead using the supplied USB Type-C connectors. Everything is secured using the supplied M2.5 by 16mm screws. Once the first toolhead is installed, the remaining 3 follow the exact same process. We'll then use the ST 2.6 by 10mm screws to lock the USB Type-C connectors in place on the toolhead. Next, we'll install the larger PTFE tubes through their guards and into each toolhead. To help keep everything neat and tidy, Snapmaker has also included cable management clips, which secure the USB Type-C cables directly to the PTFE tubes. It's a small detail, but it makes the installation look so much cleaner. And now, it's finally time to power on the printer. After pressing the power button, we're greeted by the Snapmaker logo on the display. So far, so good. After a few minutes, we're greeted by the setup screen. I'll select English. Set the region to global, connect to Wi-Fi, and skip the phone pairing for now so we can get straight to our first print. With the setup complete, it's time for calibration. The U1 will perform a multi-toolhead offset calibration, heated bed leveling, and vibration compensation. Let's click Start, and immediately a Toolhead 1 attaching and returning error appears. Thankfully, Snapmaker has a built-in troubleshooting video right on the printer. After following the steps, the issue was resolved and calibration could continue. With calibration complete, it's finally time for the moment we've been waiting for. Let's load some filament and run our very first print. To help you get started, Snapmaker includes a preloaded test model on the printer, a cute little dragon. And just like that, our first print is complete. Honestly, I'm blown away by the quality. This dragon was printed straight out of the box, with no tuning, no profile adjustments, and no tweaking of any settings. The print quality is excellent, the details are sharp, and the overall finish is far better than I expected from a completely stock setup. Snapmaker has built a seriously impressive machine here, and if this first print is anything to go by, I'm excited to see what the U1 is capable of. And that's going to wrap up my unboxing and first impression of the Snapmaker U1. So far, I'm incredibly impressed. The setup process was straightforward, and the printer feels exceptionally well built. Over the next few weeks, I plan to put the U1 through its paces, with full spectrum printing, multi-material projects, functional prints, and possibly printing a top cover for the printer. But I would like to hear from you. What prints, features, tests would you like to see me put the U1 through? Let's see how far we can push this 4-toolhead printer. Let me know your ideas in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.